Isang malaking awesome and thank you so much guys sa pag-replay nitong ating recorded live and welcome sa mga patuloy na sumusuporta dito sa Oso the Chismoso. And ako nga pala si Jose Bear. I've been here since 2017. I've been trying to share you guys my wins and losses dito sa cryptocurrency since 2021 ng June. And right now, nangyari na nga po yung ating live video na sinabi ko sa inyo na we will be going down towards to the lower lows. And kung i-replay nyo siya, in-explain ko siya for the next 30 minutes ng buong video na ito kung bakit tingin ko talaga babagsak tayo sa 71k. And if mabasag pa rin yung 71k, we will be dipping back to 69k. So kung isa ka sa mga nakasakbay or nakasakay dito sa ating shot call na ito, please do leave a comment on this replay video. And ngayon guys, I want you guys to focus on the shot calls na meron tayo dati pa. So kung maalala nyo, we are a bit fan of mga on-chain indicators, no, tulad ng hash ribbons. Okay? And also, mga divergences. So right now, we're really very far from calling a bottom for the market. Any case na ang pag-uusapan lang natin is just the indicators. Okay? So, marami tayong mga fundamental aspects na pwedeng totoo nga nasa bottom na tayo. Okay? But I still truly believe that there is a small potential na we can go a little bit of upside again to 74 to catch a little bit more yung mga nasa, yung mga nasa retail. Kasi this is a very important key level, no? Nakita naman natin nasa partida pa to, nasa 2-week time frame tayo. Kitang-kita natin yung mga wicks natin and it's very hard to destroy, kumbaga, or basagin. Okay? Given that we already dip right here, sabihin natin ito, nahirapan pa rin tayo umangat. So given, sabihin natin, this is a 618, it really took us like a little bit, another 2, 4, 6 weeks before we were able to really get a very clear signal na talagang aangat na tayo, which is this one, and dito sa ating hash ribbons. So wala tayo ng ganon. Okay, and also sa MVRVZ natin, kung ito-turn on natin yung ating ratio, okay, we are very far from that. Specifically 2-week time frame pa rin yung pinagbabasihan natin. We're really very far pa doon sa tinatawag na wish or in that wish ng mga tao. So ako, guys, we are very near doon sa drop na hinahanap nung mga nasa short positions. Okay, hindi ko sinasabi na I'm very sure that it will be coming already, but what I can give you is a clue of what could happen. So kung maalala niyo doon sa previous live videos din natin, meron akong balasubas live dito na nasa office ako. Ito yon, flash crash. Okay, so sinabi ko part 1, tapos habang nagbabike ako, in-explain ko sa inyo kung bakit magkakaroon ng flash crash. And nangyari nga siya the next day, which is ito yung dun sa 90k. So balikan nyo na lang. I was able to really capture it just by looking at the sentiment or the general sentiment ng buong market. So tulad ng sinabi ko, from 70k, di ba nag-69 tayo kanina, we can go back to 72 or even 74 just to catch everyone off guard and to thinking na we are really going up already. So we're very far from this kind of signal still. Okay? And para sa mga umaabang ng long pa din, I would rather take a position to sell some of your spots kasi maraming mabuburang asset from here. Okay, kahit si Vitalik, yun yung sinabi sa atin nung nandito pa lang tayo sa level ng 90k or 93k, sinabi niya yun. Then in just like 6 weeks, we dumped really hard sa market, parang ganun. But anyways, moving forward, so why do I really think that there will be a major economic downturn this coming March to April is because one, we have an escalating, okay, hindi siya nagde-de-escalate. It means escalating or talagang umaangat pa yung tension sa Middle East. or yung Middle East conflict natin. So, the conflict in the Middle East, particularly yung involving yung Iran and Israel, kahit sumasawsaw si Japan, sabihin natin, or Russia, right now, nagpalipad ang Russia sa pagitan ng China and Japan, which is causing a lot of panic sa loob ng Japan right now. There are no signals or any like warning war bells or anything like that, or war alerts doon sa mga cellphones sa Japan. Although, okay, still, pag ang mga tao nag-usap-usap sa mga ganitong topics, it's really very dangerous and it could actually cause a lot of panic. Okay, so yeah, the major economic downturns natin, or itong long storm of global political instability can really go furthermore, and I really don't like it and the sound of it, but it is because of the effective shuttering of the Strait of Hormuz. Okay, na nag-cause ng significant energy market volatility. So, pinredict natin to weeks before na there is a energy transition na nangyayari. And for any transition, it needs to capitulate the previous one, and from its ashes, kailangan mag-arise ng bagong system. Okay, so ganito natin lagi pinipredict yung mga new technology or yung mga susunod na narratives, is because there is a chaos and there will be order from that chaos para maging effective at i-adapt agad siya ng mga bagong sabi natin itong mga bagong ideas that needs to be pushed. Okay, so again, our next is of course yung sa stagflation pressures natin. So hindi pa rin naman tayo nakakahinga, no? So for economic risk that could define 2026, this is a very old news. Hinugot ko lang para mahimay natin sa inyo ng kaunti. Okay, which pinag-usapan na rin natin to noong January kasi nabasa ko to. Marami nagsasabi AI bursting, AI bubble, etc. We're very far from that. Okay, probably the reason why kung magbabubble man ang AI, it's because of memory, RAM space siguro isa yon, or even the RAM, I mean the memory itself. Okay, so the US economy is facing a stagflation. Okay, actually not like really deep-rooted stagflation, but just a stagflation light na tinatawag nila, or quote and unquote ng CNN, where yung growth natin is sluggish or negative, but the inflation remains high. Okay, preventing yung ating Federal Reserve from cutting interest rates, which is neto lang nangyari or kahapon. Okay, and rates to save, yung mga rates natin was not able to really save a lot of jobs. Okay, so February 2026 data nagpapakita na yung ating loss natin of jobs is 92,000, which nung December, October, and of course nung August, sinabi ko sa inyo na kung bakit man magkakapitulate palalo itong market natin is because of job numbers. At itatago nila yon, okay, at i-conceal nila yon. So this is the topic where na kung bakit magkakaroon ng AI bubble is because hindi natin masusustain yung job losses, and yung AI is trying to really take over those jobs, and yung need natin to suffice and to maintain or to keep the AI going is going to be beyond doon sa human capabilities or yung technology na meron tayo. Okay, so ganun ko siya tignan, and that is the reason why, okay, stagflation pressures, hence bursting of AI bubble could be a thing, okay, but not mainly because of AI bubble. It's because of the job numbers or the economy of the world economy could be probably one of the reasons, or probably main reasons ko. So, fiscal and debt crisis, okay, let's focus on US, no? So, rising public debt is a very painful thing to talk, and masyadong mahirap pakinggan at ituro to kasi this is more of like macroeconomics. So with the US deficit natin expected to stay at 6 to 7% of GDP, masyadong hindi siya Hindi ko siya masasabing sobrang sobrang sama, pero yun nga yung pangit dun kasi it's slowly bleeding, okay? And papunta pa rin tayo dun. Ngayon, ang tanong na lang diyan talaga is kailan. Hindi natin siya puwedeng ibagsak na lang right away, 'no? Pero this is going to be scary kung papakinggan. Pero I really don't think na mangyayari yon anytime soon. Okay, but somewhere in 2028 to 2030 could be, okay, the thing that needs to be done so that we can fully integrate ourselves to the new digital system. Okay, so this could be one of those catalysts. Okay, I'm not saying that I'm very sure about it, but it's very evident sa mga nangyayari ngayon, no? Na sunod-sunod or rocket barrage na kung tawagin yung mga nangyayaring masasama sa buong mundo, no? In order to just focus and push this narrative na maging fully digitalized yung ating financial system. But yeah, with the going back doon sa fiscal and yung debt crisis natin, okay, this could actually force a painful spending cuts or tax increases, which is maganda nga na meron tayong pero it is not really, okay, really helping us in a long term. Okay, so my prediction is still stays with the 53K. Of course, from there baka magbago. Titingnan natin kung ano yung magiging situation. But we are begging for a lower low right now so that we can prove that this is going to bounce. And the next bounce for the RSI will be a higher. So kumbaga, idodrawing natin yan. Kung nandito yung low, dapat ito is pumag-plummet to ng sobra. To the point na nagkakatakutan na hanggang sa magiging ganyan. Okay? Which is producing a divergence. Okay? Or series of divergence kung titignan. Okay? So bagsak siya tapos biglang nag-letter V siya. Okay? So, but anyways, guys, kita-kits tayo tomorrow, and if ready kayo sa mga chismis at gustong-gusto nyo ng mga ganitong topics, mga topics na hindi na pag-uusapan sa mga mainstream media or of course, ng mga pina-follow nyo, okay, please do like and share and subscribe dito sa Oso the Chismoso. And ako nga pala sa Oso Bear. Okay? Guys, chismis lang ang lahat ng yon. Kailangan nyo pa rin aralin, planuhin at kilusan. Nang sa gayon, ang lahat ng to ay ating makamtan. At syempre, of course, stay awesome. Goodbye.